All right, it's the next morning, and I've gotten some stuff up. And warning, this is going to get gross. So let's see. This is kind of a series of what the F things. So there, down there, running that way, you can see the very large boards and some splits. Those are the actual subfloor. That's on the floor joists and beams. And then on top of that, they've got this plywood sheet, which appears to be nailed down. Over there, it's got some staples. This should all pull up. They've got that furring down there, a little bit on top of the plywood sheet, but I can fix that. And that's where it met the old hardwood floors. Those are soft pine. And this threshold here is definitely at an angle. So I'll see if I can kind of nudge that out, plumb this up, square it up. I might replace this whole casing, though, because it's ancient. We'll see. Interior jams and all that are not that big a deal. There's just a whole bunch of things that aren't big deals in and of themselves. They had a little bit of stuff nailed down here. I've not gotten up. Right in here. I'll get that up. That was just a little filler. And you can see that on top of the heavy plywood, which is nailed down, they had this veneer stuff, which gave a nice smooth level surface for the crappy tiles to adhere to. And this veneer was used probably some kind of spray adhesive. It's definitely not construction cement, so that makes my life a lot easier. And that's pried up. Over here, you can see where it has delaminated because we're approaching the area of the water damage. And so the rest of this came up in one piece, and that's where it began to splinter. Now, what I'm going to show you next is kind of revolting. So if you are easily disturbed, look away, don't watch the video. For those of you like me who are now morbidly curious, let's look and see what the water damage, not only to the veneer, but to the plywood beneath was. And hopefully it won't have extended to the actual support beams beneath. I'll find out later today. And a bonus what the F for you is right coming now. So this is the water damage. This is the crap that was living in this plywood beneath the veneer. The veneer is just in shards. But here's the bonus thing. I'm looking straight down now at the old cast iron drain, which was on this line right here. But the center was here of the hole that they put in the floor. And that hole in the floor looked like it was sawed out by hand, no kind of circular shape. And I see some old rusted threads on that drain pipe. I've got a white plastic cup in the drain so the sewer gas doesn't come up. You can see daylight beneath all that, or I can. The phone might not show it because there's a vent in the outer wall to the crawl space down there. So some sunlight's coming in. This is the center line, and the old wall would have been farther back because they've brought this whole thing out by about 2 inches. So the old wall, I've not measured to see if that is a 10-inch rough end or a 12-inch rough end. But either way, they moved everything out, and they had a little 45-degree angle PVC adapter to make the new flange, which was right here, kind of go that way and more or less line up with the drain. Certainly not ideal. I'm not going to be doing that. So in a minute, after I get out the plywood and see what I'm up against, I'll be looking at what the center line distance is, because I'm going to get a new Kohler toilet for here. Whether it's a 10-inch or 12-inch rough end is to be determined. I'll be replacing some of the subfloor here because I don't want to have big gaps. But a new flange will be installed directly over this drain, and I'll make sure that I have whatever couplers I need to go from whatever new material on the flange to the old cast iron. I did get a bid. I got 2 bids actually on having someone come out here and cutting out all the cast iron drains in this and then tying in to the old cast iron vent here. But between $3,000 and $6,000 were the 2 bids. So it's a pretty big range of difference, but in fairness, that is involving going down into a crawl space where one person barely fits and cutting large chunks of old cast iron out. So that is a cost I will defer well down the road if we ever feel like taking out a loan to do such things. So this old drain has never had any blockage issues for us. It's not rusted out. It's not cracked or anything. So I'm going to live with it. But I'm going to connect to it for the first time in a long time. I'm going to get all this yuck out. Yes, I'm wearing the same pants as yesterday because I got them all dusty, so I put them on again for this. Sorry. Let's see. Those are the big issues that I'm dealing with right now. A couple of other things. I can see here that the hot and cold water supply used to come up from the floor. So I'm thinking maybe this plywood was put in by someone after 1912, but before all this stuff was done, because the feeds are now the CPVC, very brittle stuff, as I found out, coming up here. I'm probably going to replace all this with PEX B, and I can pull this out and I can see the where it goes, and it all goes into the crawl space beneath where I have access, so I can get down there and do conversions from the PVC. And I'll probably still come out through the wall, but I like it to be more centered. You can see that this one is well to the left, whereas the cold's pretty much on the old center line. The hot was moved to the right. There's no reason for that. So I'd like them to be equally spaced. And since, hey, here's some more old termite damage. That's fun. Not too bad. It's not really structural because the beams are here on either side. It's good to know that my sink actually was being anchored into wood. I'm probably going to take this frame out and redo this so that I have everything a little bit more centered. One concern I have is that here's cast iron drain with an old, looks like it's welded, and this bit of chromed pipe, which is dented and all deformed. So I'm going to see what my options are for cutting this off and attaching to it. It's just a drain connection. If I can get that solid with a PVC coupler outside the wall, that should be pretty easy. I just haven't researched that yet. Nothing, I mean, the taking stuff out, I know how to do. And most of this stuff, in terms of putting back, I know how to do. But I need to look up some code things and look up, research things like, all right, that's copper coming out of the wall, out of the floor for the toilet feed. I could keep that after I clean the hell out of it, or I could change that to PEX. That one's galvanized steel. What is it underneath the floor? How do I transition to something else, etc.? Let's see, other strange things. If we take the sink drain as the center line and follow it up, we see that this line is, which was their center mark for this whole thing here, where they put in a medicine cabinet, is a little bit to the left of that. I'd like the center line for the sink to be matching the drain. So the center line of the sink tells me where to install the sink. You can see the entire sink had to be installed slightly to the left here to match the medicine cabinet. And the top, quote, center line for the medicine cabinet is a good half-inch to the left, of this center line. So I will probably be looking at reframing this area here a bit I'm not sure why these old boards are here. These are original to the house. It's always something with this. And I'm looking to see if there are slightly larger medicine cabinets on the market to give us a little bit more storage. I'm kind of limited here by this dimension. I have more here, so I don't know. Maybe I can't change the cabinet. It's certainly not square, though. I could probably square this up a bit more, just because things like that bother me. And like I mentioned before, the spacing of the two sconce fixtures are not even. I'd like them to be evenly spaced because such things matter to me. They didn't get do a good job with the drywall cut, so they'd filled it all in with mud. Anyway, a lot of bad work in here. Oh, the big thing that I will be getting to. Let's look over in these corners here. Over in this corner, when they furred it all out, they've got a furring strip here and a furring strip here. So this, my work light battery just died. Okay. So when I put drywall up, I can screw in here and I can screw in here. And in this corner, not quite as nice, but I can screw in here and I can screw in here, and the thickness of the drywall will make up that little gap and won't be an issue. But over here, if I want to screw in drywall here, well, there's nothing to screw to. And if I want to screw in drywall in this corner, I could kind of, sort of go at an angle. So thanks. I hate it. And they did the same thing over there. So I think what I need to do is I need to take out this strip, which goes top to bottom, and take out this strip, because these are like 2x2s or 1x1s, whatever. Sorry, I always forget. There's what it looks like to the eye versus what it's called. You know, a 2x4 is not 2x4. Let's call it a 1x1. So I think I need to put a 2x4 in here and a 2x4 here. You know, either that or I just need to cistern another one of these here. So I have something for this drywall to attach to, and maybe squeeze another one in here or just move this over. And similar stuff over here, because why do something right when you can just slightly get it wrong? Who's going to notice? Well, I noticed that these corners were really flexible and weird when I was trying to get the wallpaper off. And beneath that wallpaper were crappy drywall mud joints. I mean, they were really done poorly. And now I begin to see why. There was nothing solid there. No corners of the drywall were ever attached correctly. Anyway, I think that's enough for this particular video, because I have got to get the rest of this veneer out and then wash the hell out of my hands. I am wearing gloves for this. And I need to then get this clawfoot tub moved over here. And then I can get all this tile up, and I'll move the floor vent out. That's closed off, and I'll shop back it and get the tile off, and then get this veneer off. And then I'll see how the plywood sheets were put down, because I know that this one here runs beneath this veneer, so I can't take this up yet. And it's really fun with the clawfoot tub, because I'm going to be moving it around a good bit. Soon will come the time when I'm going to have to call a buddy, and we're going to have to get this into a different room in the house. And then I got to measure all the door jambs. I know I'm going to have to remove one more door to get it out. And hopefully we can navigate around the corner there in the hallway. It looks very foreboding in this lighting. Anyway, it's a mess. The whole thing is a mess. Oh, and last night, as I was working in here, all of a sudden, apparently the filter in my shop vac had a catastrophic fail, and a plume of white dust shot into the room. Fortunately, shot into this room, not into the hallway in general, because just random chance that the vents on the shot vac was aimed this way. So I got a lung full of that. It's a good feeling. And I had a lot of extra dust to clean up. So the new filter will be here later today, at which point I can resume. Hey, little nail. Let's go away. Let's go away. Let me go get my little, there, don't even need to use a tool. There you go. Nailed it. Thanks for watching.